Good evening, folks, and welcome back to another exciting issue of Sunset City. I am, as always, Matt, Killer GM. I have he, him pronouns, portray a wide variety of people, places, locations, alternate realities, and sometimes even concepts in this weird, wild multiverse that we all have made together. That's enough from me. Let's go around the table, introduce our players for the evening, and we'll see where we go. First off, Wally, how are you doing, friend? And how are you? And who are you playing tonight?
Sup, y'all? It's me, Wally, your favorite non-binary slime best friend on the internet, and Uh, I am playing Marvin, aka Turbine, the Transform playbook. And how am I feeling? I am going into this with concern and excitement because I am interested to see how this is going to turn out for my boy. He's been through a lot.
It's been in quite a bit.
Yeah.
We're gonna learn some things tonight, and we're gonna see how things go. But we'll get more to that in a moment. Next up, Celeste, how are you doing, friend? And who are you playing tonight?
I'm getting through it. I'm Celeste. I use they or he pronouns. I'm playing the inimitable Lady Perilous, aka Elodie Young, on the Protege playbook, and an equal number of concerns.
I don't know what you have to be concerned about. It's not like you have to fight a terrible cosmic horror or anything. Um, Somebody who knows a few things about cosmic horrors and facing them down. Corey, how you doing, friend? Who are you playing tonight?
Hello, everyone. I'm Corey Sparks, also known as Hyperlight Sparks. I go by he, they pronouns, and I am playing Sapphire Sirius, the alien outsider of the group. Uh, and so far, I'm doing all right. Sapphire, on the other hand, is kind of nervous because, he's got that whole, secret identity double agent thing, and he's facing off against a villain who is technically kind of his boss in his other personnel in his other persona. So uh he's just like not quite sure if oh, is this guy on to me, or does he recognize me or something. I mean, I can shapeshift, but surely he wouldn't be able to recognize me, right?
Surely
but
not.
but either way, uh, hopefully, he can take care of this before too many secrets get out. Um, so yeah, that's where we're at with Sapphire right now.
Secrets never ever come out in this group. It's fine. It'll be fine. Somebody who is got a new character to the group, but absolutely old hat and not absolutely the least of us in the group. Pope, how you doing, friend? Who you playing tonight?
Hey everybody, Pope here. Pope World Bill, where Pope World Bill on Twitch, lurking all your streams. I get to play Magnus, the Legacy playbook, and while Magnus is confident and competent, I am a ball of nerves. Um, both of us use he/him pronouns, and this 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 is like doomed levels of confrontation. And whilst, Arthur always had an ace up his sleeve, Magnus is just there. So we'll see what happens.
It's quite a point for him to be getting thrown in at. We'll elaborate on that in just a split second. One other call out. We do, of course, have one nameplate in blank spot tonight. Christy, who plays Hussar, is out on vacation. We wish her all the best. Hope she's getting some great rest. And, she'll come back to a terrible, terrible mess when she comes back in. So she'll be fine. I'm certain. It'll be good.
I leave for 1 second.
Hussar's off on her own adventure, we'll say. Uh, Adventure in some scary quotes, I'll be honest. Because when we left her off, she was not in a nice place. But yeah, we've got most of our Mythfits here tonight. Last time on Sunset City, the Mythfits figured out a way to deal with Dumaru, and the rest of Dr. Moreau's murder-supials in a way that didn't involve a big knockdown, drag-out fight, much to some people's chagrin. I'm certain. Somewhere, maybe. And followed the path of Mjolnir, eventually arriving at a cave. A cave which Marvin ended up recognizing. It was the one that had housed the Hive of the Nephilim. And it was being invaded by the Bureau of Observation. Dealing with Bureau soldiers as they went, our heroes eventually found Grendel, who would have been quite the fight if Marvin hadn't experienced a moment of truth for himself and unleashed his full might as a champion Nephilim and left Grendel a puddle on the floor. Unfortunately, that was still just enough time for the director of the Bureau of Observation, the mad monk Grigori Rasputin, to fuse with the creature known as the Grigori to become the Grigori Rasputin and open its mouths and begin the song of awakening. And so, this is the scene we find ourselves in with our Mythfits. Mythfits, what do you do?
I would like to pierce the mast.
Now that's a bold choice.
Yeah.
You asked for it. Go for it.
Oh boy. Okay. Get ahead.
Yep, you get one off of there. So with
So,
piercing,
real quick question. How could I get him to call out Loki?
how can I get him to call out Loki? Holy shit! You know, there are some times where I think I know where something's gonna go, and just every word of a sentence just brings fascinating new horizons to my doorstep. And you have a way of doing this with me.
Came out swinging, y'all.
Yeah, came swinging for the fences. How could you get him to call? Why? I got it. Like the high level interaction of this play just astounds me because, like, in my mind, these two nodes are not connected in any way, shape, or form. But now I have to think of one. I have to create something. The way you get him to call out Loki. Oh, duh, this is way easier. I'm being way easier than I thought about this. Um, well, you're the Odin son, so depending on what he knows, he might have some idea of Loki being a way to get rid of you, or some other Norse contrivance. That's a gamble. Um, outside of that, um, at that point you probably get into the things of trying to goad him into piercing other planes, which may or may not work. Like there are a couple different gambits here that might might do the trick.
Okay, that's me.
Okay. And this keening choir from the many mouths of Rasputin continues to hum. It sets some of you, your teeth on edge. Sapphire, your skin is resonating in a way you have not felt in quite a while. Who's next?
Uh,
Just go ahead.
okay.
Right. Oh.
I think a good follow up is to assess the situation.
That is a thing you can do, yes.
Okay. Okay.
So that's a 9, so you get 1 off the list.
Okay. How can we best end this quickly?
How could you best end this quickly? How can you best end this quickly? You're pretty sure it's something to do with Marvin, but you're not 100% certain what it is.
Right.
Because otherwise, it might require resources you don't have immediate access to. Like, you could call it. Menace could probably come up with a solution if you called them. Like, Pulsar would probably just rip this thing to shreds. But
That's it. Oh shit. I need to know something else, but it's not my turn now, so.
Yeah. So, oh, go ahead.
no. Go on.
Oh.
Go on. You got something.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to use comfort of support and support Marvin. Basically, what Sapphire does is he sort of like he summons like this crystal sword and shield combo, and he's like standing next to Marvin, and he's like, "Whatever goes down, I've got your back." And that would be a that's mundane, actually.
It is.
So that kind of that's hit. All right. So they hear you. That's you get to either mark potential, clear condition, or shift labels if you open up.
Mm-hmm.
So Marvin here looks over. He's just staring at this, aghast at that Rasputin is in front of him, and he's just like his brain is like moving a million miles per hour trying to figure this out, and he's like just thinking over and over again that I don't think we can do this. This is the most frightening thing in my life. And then that's when he hears Sapphire's words, and it calms him down a little bit. And I would like to clear my condition, so I have no more conditions.
All right, fresh for the fight.
Unlike me, I've got every condition except for one.
Sapphire's sitting here like one condition from just being completely out. Marvin, you got this, buddy.
Yeah, because he's terrified. He's like, oh no, they're gonna find out. Somebody's gonna find out my secret, and then I'm gonna have nobody on my side.
You got this, champ. You're good. So with my turn, I would like to assess the situation also.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nope.
Oh no. Mark potential. Also, mark doom, please.
Oh ho ho ho. Oh ho ho ho.
You know how this game goes.
Oh ho ho ho.
The doom approaches.
We've been here before.
Yep.
We've been into this dance.
Yes. You do get to ask a question. I don't got to tell you the truth though.
That's very true. I will say, what here can I use to separate Rasputin from the Grigori?
Mjolnir.
Okay, okay. Oh, okay. So Marvin like looks at this, and then looks over at Magnus, and he's like, "How worthy are you feeling right now?"
Uh, that's pretty much all that comes out of Magnus's mouth.
Because my gut's telling me that Mjolnir might be powerful enough to help end this.
Looking like he's in the deep end. Um,
A tendril extends out from Rasputin, and it cracks like a whip, the size of a brawny arm, and snaps at Magnus. Please take a powerful blow.
I would like to defend.
Uh, yeah, go ahead. We can
All
do
right.
that.
So yeah, what goes on is like as soon as this tendril like comes toward Magnus, Sapphire like summons forth a force field wall with one of his powers, and that would be a defend savior. Oh, I'm not very good at that either. Crap,
Do it.
miss.
Please mark potential.
I'll take that powerful blow now.
Yeah. So I imagine so the tendril just like smashes right through.
Yeah, it
That's
just
a
breaks
one.
the force field out.
And yeah,
Okay, so
one off the menu.
um, going to give ground.
Give ground. Okay, opposition gets an opportunity. So you probably launch backwards at that point, I expect. And as that happens, uh, you hear the song of Rasputin being met with screeches coming from elsewhere in the hive, and things coming in.
Marvin, these things will listen to you, won't they?
I
Can can
I
you can you like counter song or something?
I can try. I mean, he looks around at these things and kind of thinks back to the last time he was connected to them and tries to do what Rasputin is doing and try to like counter the song that they are singing.
Okay, go and roll and unleash your powers.
Mm,
So that's a 9. So
mm.
um, you can mark a condition, or I will tell you how this is unstable or temporary.
I'm gonna mark the condition um insecure because he's not totally secure in himself in doing this because this is new to him.
Yeah. You just kind of open up your mouth and you start to sing, and it is it.
Um,
Hmm?
at that moment, I would like to comfort or support
Okay.
Turbine. I might not be worthy, but I'm certain you are. And I would like to roll that comfort or support.
Do it.
Miss.
Please mark potential as you try and try. Um, and but Marvin, you can hear in Rasputin's song his whisper, "You are nothing without me. You will join with me, and together we will take this earth." There are several Nephilim sitting at the entrances to this chamber. Some of them are like in ripped to shreds pieces of bureau work, as if Some of them have been transformed.
Okay, so as I'm like singing the song,
Hmm.
um, do I feel that connection with them now?
It's a tug of war thing. You've got a hold of it, but you have that uncertainty. You've got Rasputin in your ear.
Okay.
He.
I'm still trying my best to
Mhm.
try to sway the Nephilim to just turn around and swarm on Rasputin. And as I'm doing this, I like take a deep breath. I'm like, guys, while I'm doing this, you guys got to distract him. You got to do something to distract him. And I go right back to the singing.
Okay.
I've got a plan. I need you just hold on for a couple of minutes. I've got a plan. And I'm gonna get on the comms and use belong in two worlds to try and get a hold of Menace or Pulsar or somebody over there.
Okay.
So that's superior.
Elodie puts out the SOS to Xanadu.
Right. I got a hit,
Mm-hmm.
and that's
So
I
what's that?
get 2 hold.
Okay. And what's the hold get you?
So I can either receive a useful piece of alien technology that allows me to use an ability from another playbook once. I can consult my people's knowledge to ask the GM a question, or I can clear a condition through the comfort of contact with home. So the first thing I need to know from whoever picks up on the other end is how do I get my last weapon of last resort recharged?
I think you're gonna get mined. I think in this case.
Okay.
So you want to recharge the weapon of last resort.
I need to. I don't even know if Pulsar is available right now. And even if she is, I don't think she can get here in time for what we need. It has to come from me.
You're going to need a massive power source, either a geothermal vent, a nuclear reactor, a piece of an exotic energy generator, something in those lines.
Will lightning work?
It would need to be a very large source of lightning, an extreme charge.
It's
You'd need
something.
you'd need to get struck by lightning multiple times. The probability of that is, and starts rattling off a series of numbers.
It's a lot lower when you've got somebody who might be able to generate it for you. Don't worry, I've got it.
Is it?
Mind, I think you should maybe call Pulsar and Menace anyway. I don't know if I can handle this. I want to believe in Marvin. I want to believe in the team. I want to believe we can do this, but I don't know if we can.
You were going to do this, Elodie, because you were chosen to be Menace's protege. Menace would not choose you if you were not competent in doing these sorts of things. I wouldn't let them.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna clear angry. Okay. We got this. Magnus, can you channel lightning at all?
Not yet.
Can you try?
Sure.
I need you to hit me with everything you got.
Unleash?
It's going to be an unleash, but I am going to give you a -2 penalty
Yeah.
because you aren't there yet.
Yeah. No.
So I imagine this is Magnus throwing hands up, and you can see like a couple sparks crackle between his fingertips, but it just doesn't come.
Shit. I need a source of power. Something big.
Oh, grab
And
Mjolnir.
and
Hey,
that's when you Rescue.
Sapphires. Oh,
Hold on.
go ahead. Go ahead.
I get to be in the driver's seat right now.
Mhm.
Rasputin, you want power, child? I will show you power. And he stretches forward, a large mouth opening wide, ringed with teeth and fangs of all types, and it chomps down on you, Elodie.
I would like to defend.
Unfortunately, this is based off of your failure, so no. Please take a powerful blow.
That's fair. Shit. Where the fuck's the button? There it is.
One off the
Okay.
menu.
Okay. Think we are. I think we're struggling past the pain on this one, so I'm gonna take angry back, and I'm gonna take afraid.
That's fair. As the jaw of Rasputin clamps down and grinds against your suit, the nanites holding back the worst of it.
At this point, I'm just trying to like beat him off me with Snickersnack.
Yeah, and like you're carving off bits of flesh, and they're squirming and wriggling back to the main body.
All right. So at this point, now you said that you needed to recharge your last resort, right?
Right. I need
Yeah,
some
so-
massive source of energy.
Yeah. Now, what exactly was the weapon of last resort again? Because I kind of forgot what it was.
Basically,
was
it
the
turns
shield
me
thing, right?
it turns me into pulsar for like a
Right.
short period of time.
So okay, right. So what Sapphire does at this point is he hears Elodie's call out for some energy. He's like, some energy. I've got it. And he goes up to Elodie like, Elodie, just open yourself up. I'm gonna give you something, but you're gonna have to trust me.
This is a really weird time for some kind of joke like this, Sapphire.
Oh no! It's not like that. It's not like that. Look, all right, just to recharge the thing in your suit that you keep doing.
No,
weapon of last
no, I
resort.
am not using you as a fucking battery. You can take that and you can shove it. That's not happening.
I'm not gonna. I think that if I try hard enough, I can just give you enough energy. Not like if I don't need to take anything out of myself to do it. I think I know how to project enough energy into you in order for us to both stay in the fight.
This better fucking work.
Right.
Hit
Here
me.
we go. And so he stands back, and that heart core in his chest starts glowing and fires a beam of energy like right into the weapon of last resort that she's using. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that adult move that I had. Wield your powers to create something useful from your environment. On a +10, choose 2. That's yes, full hit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to create something useful from my environment. That is, recharge Elodie's weapon of last resort. And let's see. Take a hold of something vulnerable to you. Now, what's vulnerable to me in this scenario? Because I don't know if Rasputin is vulnerable at this point. Unless, no, he's not. He's definitely not.
Said, no, I will tell you he's
So-
not.
Right. So let's see. Oh, you know what? What I'm also going to do is neutralize an opponent or threat, but not Rasputin himself. What I'm going to do is use some of the energy that's like coming out to create a force field at the end of the mouth of the cave or whatever that we're in to neutralize the threat of Rasputin's like backup that he's calling to come in and basically hold them off for a time, if that's possible.
For you, it is.
Yeah.
for you.
So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Just sort of envelop this like little fight that we're having right now inside of like a closed space of energy. So
Mhm.
no backup of his can get in, but probably won't be able to get any backup of ours in either unless I lower the force field. So
Little one, you are not trapping them outside. You are trapping yourselves inside here with me.
for the time being, we can hold if we can hold you off for long enough for our plan to work, it'll be worth it.
You think any little plan you can concoct in mere seconds is something compared to my centuries of waiting, of watching, of creating.
You're not the only
You'd be
one who can create. And just because you've been around for centuries, all that means is that you're bogged down by tons of bad ideas that didn't work. All you have is all of those failures kicking around in your head. Me, I've got something you'll never have: fresh perspective. I would like to use my moment of truth.
Here she goes.
um, I'm assuming that it worked and that the weapon of last resort is now charged,
I mean, it's at least partially charged.
partially charged.
Yeah.
I'll give you
I
a
mean, it was a
partial.
full hit. So.
I'm gonna plunge Snicker Snack into Grigori Rasputin, and I'm going to focus and start to use Snicker Snack to draw any latent energy inside of him out and drain him to power myself.
So, let's see. What is the moment of truth for you here?
I can do whatever my mentor can do and more. I can do the incredible, even things they always fail to accomplish, but they're not going to see me the same way no matter which path I choose. This is the moment where I choose whether I'm menace or I'm different.
And so you plunge Snickersnack into the Grigori, into Rasputin, and you pull, but not with your hands, but with your mind. And you can feel a surge of energy flow into you, a power that is alien, but at the same time, ever so natural. And you can feel tendrils flailing at you, beating on you, but it's not as forceful as it could be. It's not as strong, or it doesn't feel the same as it was when you were fighting him off earlier.
And there's a panel where Elodie's eyes are closed, and what mind said, just said, echoes in her mind again. Menace wouldn't have chose me if I wasn't capable. I can do this. And I can do this not because I'm Menace's protege, not because I'm like Menace, but because I'm not Menace. I can do this because I'm me. And as I charge the weapon of last resort and I activate it when it hits full charge, my eyes open and they're glowing that same brilliant white that pulsars glow when she's at full strength. You are nothing but a relic. And I just let it all out in a full beam. I just blast right through him.
You blow through, and the pillar quivers and shakes. and it starts to falter and collapse. What do you do next, or is there anything else that you would do in this moment?
No, I can't think of anything else. I think
That's
that's it.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think at that point, what happens is in the throes of the pillar being collapsed, you get smacked and flung away. Not hurt, still in the weapon of last resort mode. And as the pillar collapses into this pile of flesh, clambering out is a burly man with a bushy beard. And as he opens up his eyes and cracks his knuckles, another eye opens on his forehead. And tendrils grow off his shoulders with tooth-filled mouths on them. I did not need that cumbersome form to defeat you, child. Come, let me show you what I am used to.
I'm just at my hands light up and I start hurling bolts of energy at him.
Mm-hmm. And as the bolts fire and hit, it's just poof, poof, and you see chunks of him getting ripped off, and it's just crawling back into place. And he points out, and his hand stretches and grows to a massive size and swats you. And we're gonna have you take the powerful blow here.
Okay.
I would like to defend.
Oh,
Yep, 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 yep.
go
At the
there,
same time.
go on it, Magnus.
just waiting for it, lurking, lying in wait.
There we go.
That's the full hit.
Um,
So on the hit,
so, full defend. I would like to clear my angry.
okay.
Let's see here. Yeah. I keep them safe and I choose one. So I keep Lady Perilous safe and I clear angry.
Yep.
So yeah, the tendril lashes out and Magnus just flies up, intercepting the tendril with his hands.
Mm-hmm.
And I have enough potential. I'd like to unlock the rest of my powers now.
Yeah, this is the time. This is the time to do it.
Immigrant song starts playing.
I want to hear what does Magnus have a different theme potentially?
Yes. Give me a second. For those who like to use Spotify, there is a very particular song. It's called Legends Are Made by Sam Tenets.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Never heard of it, but I'll check it out.
that starts playing, and a number of thought bubbles. You brought me here for a reason, little brother. We have our differences, but I got the message. And with the left hand still holding onto the tendril, the right hand reaches out. There's still a storm outside, and we see the handle of Mjolnir just start shifting. And then through the mountain, it comes and lands in his hand. You try to be a god. Let me introduce you to a real one. And I would like to fight the good fight.
Fight the good fight. Tell me, how is that different from our usual direct engagement?
I use Savior instead.
Oh, you. Yeah, do it.
Miss.
Mark potential.
Uh, I I think I have a feeling for what happens.
Yeah, I imagine like you bring down Mjolnir, and the other like actually what happens here is another hand grows out of the hand that you blocked before and grabs Mjolnir. No, I am not a god. I am a watcher. And he yanks you away and just buries you into the ground as you take another powerful blow.
Certainly.
Um. Ooh.
Full hit.
Oh no!
The big money.
Uh,
So two
I
off.
need those rolls reversed, but hey, we're here.
Tell a story,
So
man.
yeah, yeah.
Oh.
I think I'm going to give ground, and I'm going to provoke a teammate to foolhardy action.
Oh boy, here we go.
Turbine, you're worthy. Grab the damn hammer.
Crunch.
So Turbine, like, he hears this from Magnus. He sees Lady Perilous just get wrecked. He sees Magnus get wrecked. He saw all of his friends get wrecked, and he's singing this song, trying to hold the Nephilim at bay. And he's like, I right. And he runs and he goes to pick up Mjolnir. Um, and using like and just try to pick up Mjolnir and use it just to slam it into Rasputin.
So as you're going for it, what happens is Rasputin, like from his chest emerge a score of fists that just immediately start pummeling you, and I need you to take a
I'm going to defend. Uh, oh wait, sorry.
This is a part of the foolhardy action, so
Right.
I'm gonna hold on to this one.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I know everybody's like, oh right, we can do these other things too. They're so excited, and I love it. But sometimes I gotta get my consequences in. Otherwise,
it.
where's
All
the
right,
magic?
here I go. Take a blow, power blow, and woo! Oh, thank goodness.
Attaboy, Marvin.
Oh, thank goodness.
So yeah, mark potential, and how do you stand strong?
So I pick up I'm trying to pick up the hammer because I don't know if I pick it up yet, but I grab the hammer as I'm trying to pick it up. Suddenly I'm just hit with this barrage of fists, and I like turn my back to them, like bracing myself against these fists, and I'm just getting barrage hit over and over and over again. And I'm holding onto this hammer, and I am thinking about everything that I've done as a hero, all the things I've done as a hero, everything I've done in the past, the people I saved, the time when I saved time and space, when I crashed a dragon through time and through a dream like realm to save my friends. And I'm just focusing on all of that stuff as I'm trying just to pick up this hammer and use its power to just smash it into Rasputin.
The hammer is so heavy. It's like trying to lift the earth itself. But you hear the grind of stone on stone above the pummeling of fists against your back. Those things smashing into you. You lift the hammer. The song is growing louder in your head. It's never left. but you lift Mjolnir. Mark of doom.
I am at full doom.
Full doom, he says.
Yep.
Wally, what does it say when you are at full doom?
When it says I'm at full doom, I confront it and I perish.
So, what do you do?
So, as I'm trying to swing, as I swing the hammer up and over my head, um, everything like goes white, and you see a flashback of like a 10-year-old Marvin.
Oh.
And you see a 10-year-old Marvin running around in a playground, and he falls over and he like skins his knee really bad, and he starts crying. And as he's crying, May walks over to him, picks him up, and like, dusts him off, and does this and pretty much tells him that, you're a very stubborn kid, you know that. But every time you always headbutt whatever is happening against you, but whenever one thing goes wrong, you kind of give up. But don't do that. Be stubborn in everything. Never give up, Marvin. Even when the chips are down, even when it seems like things are not going to go your way, you can always find a way around it. And everything goes white, and we just see Marvin yelling as he's swinging the hammer up and over, as it's just building up all of this energy as it slams down right on top of Rasputin's head, as he's just letting out this yell of like power, of rage, and just letting loose all of his emotions at once as it just slams down into him. And that sound of thunder and lightning echoes through the room as like in this met with the sound of like a ring of metal upon metal, and everything goes clear, goes just engulfs in a white light, as slowly everything goes clear as Marvin is just now holding the hammer down on Rasputin's head, breathing hard, as all of like the Nephilim in the room are like just vibrating and letting out that chattering noise in harmony with like his own energy.
And as this happens, and Marvin is standing there, staring, panting, Rasputin grabs your arm. His mangled face grinning wildly. Good. You have come to me. You hope you become me. And he embraces you and pulls you into him.
And as he's getting pulled in, he's just Marvin is just grinning right now. No, see, you don't understand. It's like you said to my buddy. You didn't trap you here with us. You trapped us here with you. But this case, no. You're not coming to me. I'm not coming to you. You're becoming part of me. Because you're just a pretender wanting to be a Nephilim. You're just a pretender wanting to be the Grigori. Me, I'm not just the Grigori. I am the King in Black. As he lets himself get absorbed into Rasputin, and he just unleashes himself inside of him to pretty much overtake Rasputin and just pretty much do what the Grigori was doing to him all of this time, but to Rasputin, and just absorb all of it into themselves and just becomes that.
Well, unfortunately, it would be a wonderful ending if that was the ending that you got. But this is Doom. Doom is not a happy ending. And so you absorb, you spread. Rasputin is old and wily. And you were wrong. He isn't a wannabe. He is one of the first. He hasn't been around for centuries. He's been around for millennia. Sustained on the power of his Grigori. That's why he stayed alive for so long, why he's been the ultimate survivor. And with your approach, with your unique physiology, he has gained something he has not been able to have in quite some time. No, he wasn't a god. But with Marvin, with his matter, he is now a demigod.
Elodie, her ears are ringing, and she doesn't hear it. Or rather, she hears it, but she doesn't think it's herself. Just screaming. Magnus and Sapphire can see that her mouth is open, and they can hear that she is screaming, but she's like, she can't reconcile that with what's happening. She can't hear it coming from herself. And she's just firing blast after blast after blast in the direction of Rasputin, trying to kill him, trying to stop it, trying to save Marvin.
Roll to directly engage the threat.
I'm angry, so I roll with superior.
Sure.
I'm still at -2. Nah. Nothing doing.
The fire is wild all over the place. When the form stands up, it's like Marvin, but Marvin's not there anymore. Instead, you see that cold, determined look in his eyes, the look that Rasputin had. And his eyes open. All of those eyes that Marvin was seeing the world with, seeing the multiverse with. And he lets out an inhuman scream from his many mouths, and I need all of you to take a powerful blow.
I use never give up, never surrender.
Sure.
Oh, Sapphire.
Uh,
Oh, Elodie.
Oh no. Oh, Mythfits.
so what happens with Sapphire?
Oh no.
No, that's actually good.
Yeah, he's
Good,
got the
yeah.
good one.
Yeah.
So, all right. Does anyone else want to go first, or can I?
Go ahead.
Go.
Go ahead.
Right. So, what happens is on +10. Let's see. That's choose one of these.
Yeah, it's one of the bad.
Yeah, one of
The
the
big
really
bad.
bad
Yeah.
ones. So basically what happens is after all of this is going on, like when like he like tumbles over off to the ground, he like climbs up. There are these like these like crystal, like it's like It's almost as if you know how when rivers erode rock and it leaves like these tracks in the land, you can see that there are like rivers of tears streaming from Sapphire's face like that have eroded like the sides of his face to create like these streaks down his face. And he just looks at Rasputin. He's like, "What have you done? What have you done?" And all of a sudden he just explodes into these crystal spikes, and grows to like twice his size and turns into this beast. You saw him turn into something close, not quite that, but it was similar. That time when I think it was the time when Elodie broke up with him. I think that was it. Somewhere around that. But Sapphire has lost it at this point. He's become some sort of crystalline wolf monster covered in spiky things, roaring in this. The roar that he's making is not like any kind of earth animal. It's this inorganic, alien. It's almost like if you could imagine if dubstep were an animal, that's the sound that's coming out of his mouth.
Oh.
And so he rams straight into Rasputin, clawing and biting as ferociously, pouncing like a wild monster. And that would be a direct engage, right?
Yes. This is going to be the one roll you're going to get, because otherwise you're going to be out of control for the rest of this.
Right.
That's a hit.
A full hit too. So
Of course,
So,
this
yeah.
is when this happens. Cool. So what are your choices? You get 2 off the menu.
So what I'm going to do is I am going to create an opportunity for my allies and take something from him. What I'm going to take from him is basically I'm just going to like dig in and rip like a chunk of just whatever I can grab a hold of off to keep him from using a certain amount of Marvin's power. He hasn't really been able to take Marvin like completely out of him, obviously, because they're one now, but he has sort of temporarily kept him from reaching the full extent of Marvin's power just yet. And that creates an opportunity for the others.
Yeah, I like the idea of like him just like tearing off his side so he doesn't have the arm, so he can't really punch properly.
Right. So he just goes and like rips like whole half of him kind of off and like throws him up to the side.
Mm-hmm. So that happens. Creates an opportunity. But what happens in a response is in your reckless attack, he manages to just backhand you with his other arm as his tendrils flail wildly about. And so we'll need you to take another powerful blow.
Wow.
So many big numbers.
You know what? So, let's see. I'm going to say that, can I just like do another lose control of my powers thing? Because
Control. Holy
so
shit.
if you're going to lose control, I will dictate what happens on this one.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point. Like, because at this point, Sapphire just he's going completely savage. There's it's not going to be enough to knock him out of the fight just yet.
Talk about beast mode.
Yeah.
He's completely lost control of himself. He's like, what has happened? In again, another Steven Universe analogy, he's basically become corrupted at this point. He's basically become corrupted.
Like, I see this like sickly purple light pulsing inside of him.
Yeah.
And as he skids off. He just lets out this monstrous howl, and this beam shoots out and carves through his shield into the rock, the shield shattering into
Oh yeah, yeah,
pieces.
yeah. The force field goes down, obviously, because he's not in the right mind. He's not even in the right mind to have kept it up at this point either. Because it's like when you lose control of a spell in D&D. But that's the side point.
Mm-hmm.
Use concentration, lose concentration.
So that was
but yeah,
one.
yeah.
Elodie.
I'd say that Elodie is probably also losing control.
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't know what's more fun if the weapon of last resort peters out, or if it like overflows.
I imagine it's an overflow thing
Yeah,
where
yeah. So it
as powers are getting used and that sort of thing, there's this wild fluctuation, and like your nanites take on a fleshy form as eyes
yeah,
start to like
and
speckle across your hands, and you can see through these eyes somehow in your display.
yeah, and it's an overflow of not only the actual energy itself but also information. And she's like becoming overstimulated, but she's still firing, and it's too much power. It's too much power coursing through her form that isn't designed to handle it.
As your vision starts to split and you see glimpses of Xanadu, you see glimpses of Paradise City, you see the land of winter, you look and you see Creation Studio for a split second in your eye. You can hear the fighting of Valhalla as just everything, everything is there. This is what the power is of the Grigori. It is all that knowledge, all of that sensory input, all at the same time.
And I think it turns into this just straight beam out from her form, out from her chest,
Mm-hmm.
that she can't focus or control in any way.
Mm-hmm.
And as her form, as she begins to just like collapse from the overload, it starts to fluctuate wildly and move in different directions, scanning this way and that, making deep gouges in the rocks, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe even hitting another one of the group at some point.
Yeah, these beams are like crossing around, and in fact, what I think actually I see it happening is it impacts Sapphire's beam, and there's this explosion of energy as these two exotic sources collide, and as the smoke clears, there is like a freestanding, fluctuating portal. That ain't gonna buff out easy.
Nope.
I believe Magnus also has an effect to deal with.
Yes, I get to mark afraid because that's what's happening. And I also get an opportunity or opening against the attacker.
Yeah.
Um, Given the portal just opened, given everything's gone to complete shit, um, given I'm afraid, given everything I know, I want to try and provoke him.
Yeah. Do it.
Let's see what happens and then narrate from there. Miss.
Mark potential.
Yup. Yup. This is what's happening. I Here's what I would like to happen. I am in the midst of a sentence, and then that collision happens, and there's an explosion, and I'd like to take another powerful blow and not get the sentence out.
Yeah.
Cool. I stand strong.
You lucky duck.
I have gained 4 potential so far in this session. Um, but yeah, giant explosion with now a tear in reality's ass. And he's just standing there like clothing entirely singed. I think like there's just a little bit of nose hair that's caught a flame, and he is just standing there gobsmacked.
This was not how he expected this day to go.
No.
No. Rasputin looks, and his voice issues out. It's a choir with a mixture of his and Marvin's vocals emanating out. You see, this is what your foolishness brings. Misery and futility. Where I would bring understanding and peace. And he stalks towards you, Elodie.
Stop using his voice. You don't get to use his voice. You don't get to say profane things with his voice. Shut up. Shut up.
He grabs a hold of you, and he starts to drag you towards the reality tear.
I'm just plunging Snickersnack into him over and over again.
Roll to directly engage the threat. You get 1.
I want to create an opportunity for Magnus.
Right. I think the form of this opportunity, if you'll go with me, you managed to hit something, like something in there that just brings him to one knee before he grabs Snickersnack and hurls it away. Thankfully, not into the reality here because he's just trying to get it away from you. But you can see so many things. You can see, you're almost starting to see other realities now. You can see it's Rasputin, it's Marvin, it's both. It's 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 Arthur for one split second. As the coruscating light of another reality draws ever closer. Magnus, you have an opportunity.
Yeah, we're gonna try and fight the good fight.
Go
See
for it.
what happens.
That's a hit.
Okay. So I get the list with limitations. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna take Elodie from him. I'm just going to go up there and with this newfound godlike strength, just with one hand over whatever thing is grasping Lady Perilous, just wrench it off, and then with the other, push Lady Perilous over towards Snickersnack.
And as you do, several tendrils leap from Rasputin and grab a hold of you. And that's going to be a powerful blow.
Well, yeah. Oh, Yeah, let's go to that well again. I'll take two off of the small list. We're gonna mark a hopeless because I think that's where we're going, and um, he's just dwelling on that hammer and him not really being worthy to lift it. So, just turns his head as he is failing to grapple with Rasputin. You are worthy. Use the sword and the hammer.
I've played this game before. Yeah, I'm gonna go scoop up Snickersnack, and then I'm gonna go put my other hand on Mjolnir and give it a go.
I'm going to have you roll to unleash your powers here.
Okay.
That's what this is feeling like here. This is a little bit of a stretch.
This is yeah, this is not. I'm not confident. Nah. Nah, son. Nah,
Jesus.
fam.
Wait. Do we have team that we can use?
No, your entire team is not
Oh,
here.
that's right. Yeah, we don't have team we can use.
No, that's why this is just.
Yeah,
This is
that's why this sucks.
rough. The
Yeah.
roughest of biz.
Yeah, all right.
Mark your potential.
Yeah.
You go to lift Mjolnir, and it just doesn't budge.
No sell.
Absolute no sell.
Yeah. I think I try, and then the second I'm like, nope, this isn't happening. Instead, I just like I go in with Snickersnack and Looking Glass, and I sort of like Captain America Looking Glass to sort of like give him the fake out a little bit.
And I think what happens there is he's just looking you dead in the eye, and he reaches out with the tendrils and snags Looking Glass and brings it up to block Snickersnack as you come in for the blow. And the reality thing ripples as the two blade and shield meet. Sapphire.
So after looking at all of the now, first of all, the first thing to keep in mind, this powerful form that Sapphire has assumed, on the second time that he lost control of his abilities and unleashed that beam that shut down the shield, the beast form kind of sloughed off of him, and now he's like sort of in his normal form, just sort of sitting there in the ruins of a bunch of little crystals, because he unleashed a ton of energy with that last beam, and it like caused that monster form to lose cohesion, right? So he's looking at all this carnage. Everybody's just Marvin literally just died. Elodie is being dragged around. Magnus is struggling to hold up this hammer that he can't. It's like, there's nobody who can stop him. Only a god. Only a god. My god. He looks into the reality tear and says, in the Lithian tongue, Aran Zekravaya, Katavaya, Regala. Aran Zekravaya, Katavaya, Regala. And then the beam in his chest fires into the reality tear. And I'm going to use my moment of truth. In the moment of truth, you call out for aid to your people. Let me just see if I can find the actual wording for it. You embrace your home and call them for aid. They will answer your call in force, arriving exactly when you need them to turn the tide, and you will fight and serve for the rest of the battle. Of course, when all is said and done, they'll probably like to take you home with them. You did, after all, just prove yourself worthy. When he fires this beam into the reality tear, The beacon. Oh, were you gonna say something?
I know I have a thing in mind, but go with your thing really quick,
Yeah.
and then I'll launch it when
The
I'm ready.
the beacon fires through all these different dimensions, through hyperspace, and reaches the Lithian homeworld. A set of diamond chimes ring through the air. Ding, 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 ding. And all of a sudden, the portal goes wide.
Hold on.
Yes.
So we take over for the moment, and we flash over. Lady Perilous and Rasputin are exchanging blows with Snickersnack and Looking Glass. He smashes Snickersnack to the side and shoves to get you back against the wall. He rears back with the shield to try and cleave you a twain with the edge. And that's when you see it reaching out of the portal. A diamond hand that stretches the portal out wider and wider with the grind of stone being pulverized by the unyielding force that is Diamond Regula. The gap in reality grows wider and wider still until you can see her face. She pushes through. You dare call me.
Yes, I do. But right now, there's something far worse than me or anything that we have ever had, that either of us have ever had to face. And right now, I recognize your power, and I know that you are able to do something about that bastard there. And he points to Rasputin.
And she looks at him and then back at you. And her, like, you could all hear this in your mind, this immense presence. Why should I?
Because after what he's done, he has usurped the powers of the cosmos itself. And if he is allowed to continue, I am certain that he will come for you and the rest of the empire as well. It is in your best interest and the best interest of the Lithian Empire as a whole to shut him down now while you still can, before he becomes unfucking stoppable. You can take me in when you're done, but make sure that he pays.
Elliot coughs, and there's a little blood that comes up. He's right, you know. On all counts.
Rasputin looks from you back to the Diamond Regula. You are merely stone. I will crush you. And he spreads out, tendrils going to grasp at Diamond Regula. And her other arm pushes through the portal. This thing has taken up most of the chamber at this point. Crystals are starting to grow out of the reality crack.
I would like to try something in this very perilous moment. Something foolish. I would like to try and provoke again.
Who are you trying to provoke?
The guy who's gonna die if he doesn't do exactly what I say. I want to provoke Rasputin. I want to go, you won't win. You know that. Call out the one that made you possible. Call out Loki. Here goes nothing. Yeah, that was nothing.
Honestly, that was probably the best failure you've had all day.
There's been so many.
Yeah, but this one was actually good for you to fail. You really didn't want to call Loki here right now. Well,
Portals, Diamond Regula, Rasputin. How could it get worse?
I mean, right there. There's your answer. So yeah, Mark. So he with a 100 mouths spits at you, Magnus. And as he does, I will bring order. I will bring peace to this world. All will be under the crunch. And there is a meaty crunch
I warned you.
as Diamond Regula grinds Rasputin between her palms. Flesh is weak. Stone. Grind. Grind. Grind is eternal.
Diamonds are forever.
She drags and wipes her hands on the cave floor, more gems sprouting where she touches. You may leave. You, Sapphire Sirius, will spread the word. Earth will now be a home for the Lithian Empire. You will be my herald for this place.
It's more trouble than it's worth, you know.
I'd like to assess the situation.
Go ahead.
Okay, partial.
You get one.
Get one. That's what here can I use to save Sapphire from this terrible fate?
That's a mighty fine question. Stone. You've got a stone of a fashion.
Oh dear. In this incredibly foolish case, directly engage a threat.
Oh! You called it. Go for it.
Spicy.
Yeah. Please meet out the what's happening next.
So, are you just like going balls to the wall trying to take her out?
This is just straight up with the hammer, full on Thoring at Thanos moment.
Yeah, there is literally nothing that happens here except just the swatting of an insect.
Cool. I would like to never give up, never surrender.
You can do that, yeah.
Cool. I'm going to mark angry and take my moment of truth now.
Go for it.
So goes to SWAT, hand stops as just one hand. My father sends his regards. Eyes just shoot lightning. By the way, name's Magnus Odinson, the new Thor. And just smack repeatedly with the hammer, blow after blow, lightning coming through the mountain crumbling around us until it becomes a plateau. And as the head of Diamond Regula, which is starting to crack, gets to the edge of the portal, And don't come back.
You smash the diamond. The diamond shatters. The portal remains open.
Mjolnir. Bridge. Now.
The lightning strikes down, and you all see the rainbow extend down from the sky.
Heimdall, keeper of keys, lord of the bridge. I, Thor, son of Odin, god of might, god of thunder, call upon you, and Ratatusk, messenger, purveyor of all things, come and seal this mistake.
With a crack of thunder, coming down the bridge, riding the biggest, most vicious squirrel you have ever did seen, was a man clad in armor. Funny enough, his armor is covered in eyes. And the squirrel skids to a stop in front of the portal. And Heimdall dismounts. Glad to see you found yourself, Odin's son.
Sorry it took so long.
Better now than later. This is what you called me for?
Yes, as mighty as I am, this is your domain.
And he reaches into the saddlebags. And you hear jingling and crashing. Until he finally retrieves a large set of keys. I can close it up, but it's going to need to open. And he flips through some of the keys. Twice a year. It's going to be an equinoctial opening.
Means the warriors have something to practice against.
Something. Alright. And he shoves the key into the portal. There is a full facade of fire, laser fire, shards of rock emitting from the other side. You hear another roar as the portal slides shut. Thunk! Like the slamming of a door. That it then?
One last thing, since you are the all-seeing. Points to the puddle. Multiple souls. Where are they?
Well, one of them... Oh, that's gonna take a while to sort out. You ever seen a soul that's been mortgaged before, boy?
No.
Pray to Odin you never do. Because this one's gonna take millennia to sort out in the courts. This other one, I, th- I don't know where. I can see where it was. Where it's gone? It's somewhere else. It's not our domain.
Thank you. That is all.
Very good. Hopefully we see you in our halls ere too long. Thor Odinson. And he climbs back on Ratatosk. And with a chatter, the mighty squirrel leaps and scrabbles onto the Bifrost Bridge, and it retracts behind Heimdall.
As soon as Heimdall's gone, Magnus just collapses to one knee.
And you are all left, the three of you, on this crystalline plateau. The only living souls left.
Sapphire just goes up to Magnus and embraces him, and he just starts bawling.
I am so sorry.
So am I. So am I.
Am I still getting the visions?
No, the visions have stopped. The energy's run its course.
Then I'm just on my knees, catatonic.
I need to take you home.
Not yet. There's still something I need to do to make this right. Sapphire goes over to the to the puddle that was once Grigori Rasputin. Now, is there any of his belongings that are in that mess, or was it all just crushed?
Crushed, pulverized, burned,
Right.
absorbed, changed. It's
It's
nothing.
a mess. Right, exactly. So he just looks into the puddle and he starts shape-shifting again. But this time, he does not shape-shift into Calvin Kobolds. He shape-shifts into someone of a much higher station than in the Bureau than that. He takes the form of Rasputin himself.
What's
And at this point, you know what? I'm actually going to use, if I can, another wield your power situation.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, so wield your power. Full hit. So he transforms into Rasputin. And at this point, he goes like, he starts making his way out of the cave.
Well, there's no cave left, but
there's
yeah.
no cave, right? All right, so there's nothing left. Well, he starts making his way outside of wherever it is that he was, wherever it is that the rest of the Bureau of Observation members are waiting. Are there still any of them left either?
No, those guys all pieced out
Yeah.
way before this.
All right. So in that case, so at least I can do it. He takes out that communicator thing that he uses, and he sends a message to the Bureau itself using Rasputin's face. He says, "Attention, Bureau of Observation. This is Grigori Rasputin. I have become one with the Grigori. And in my time among them, I have seen many things. And I have seen what I need to see to know that changes, great changes, must be made within our organization. Starting today, things in the Bureau will not be the same as they once were. I will keep in contact with you. But for now, you won't have the day off. Farewell. And he closes the screen back.
That was the equivalent of like someone just going, guys, I'm in charge now. We can all go home. I love you. Clicks off the com.
It's like, and so he like turns back into his normal form, and he shudders as if he just wore something filthy. Like, this is for you, Marvin. I'm gonna take this entire organization down. Your name is the very least I can do. All right, guys. Let's go home. And he goes back to his ship.
It's a slow, quiet walk. You never realized how quiet this mountainside was. Anybody have any thoughts on their way back to the ship? Anything they do?
Elodie is pretty much totally silent the entire walk back. She doesn't speak. She's just like a zombie, really. She's barely there. But she does manage to mutter one thing really quietly. Totally monotone, kind of easy to miss. What am I gonna tell May?
I'll do it. I don't quite remember her fully, but I know her. I'll do it. Let's get back to sunset.
And so you get into Sapphire's ship, and you fly back to Sunset City. What do you do when you get back?
I get a drink.
Straight to no names then?
Yeah.
If I may, a scene without words. Just 2 pages of panels. We see the Mythfits walking towards no names. We see them go through the door. The place is in full swing. But they have the worst look on their faces. We see May chatting with a customer, and then she looks over and sees them. She sees them. She doesn't see Marvin. The glass she had drops to the floor and shatters. They talk. We see them talking. We see the clientele clearing out of no names. We see the sky above Sunset City. A pillar of flame arching upwards. blowing a hole in the clouds. We cut back to No Names. The Mythfits gathered around May, her arms wrapped around them.
That's when Elodie breaks into tears.
What would be the next thing you would like to do, Mythfits?
I need to find the old man.
It's not hard. He meets you halfway, really, because he can feel it. You're halfway there. You're halfway to his house when he pulls off in his town car and waves you down. Found it, did you, boy?
Yeah, but it costs too much.
It's never what we want it to be. What did it cost this time?
A friend. A brother.
Count yourself lucky it was just him.
It's not that simple.
I didn't say it was.
There's a hole in reality. The doorway. It will open twice a year. Don't know where it goes.
You didn't make that, did you? Just picking up the hammer?
No. We showed up after.
So what are you gonna do about it?
Make sure I'm there when it opens.
And if you can't,
Make sure someone else is.
good lad. We'll add it to the saga.
I still don't remember everything.
It
When
com-
one of ours falls in battle, how do we honor them?
you remember them as best as you can. You... And his hands are trembling a little bit as he talks, and Magnus, does the old man ever looking this shaky to you?
No.
You can tell he's remembering something of his own from his time. You drink to him. You remember the good time with him. And you pray that they're in Valhalla, fighting the good fight with the All-Father. Until the very end of things. Because if they fell in battle, then they should be in the hall of battle.
Thank you.
Good job claiming the hammer. I'm sorry. For what it's worth.
It's worth more than you know. Be around.
I'm going to go. I think I have some remembering to do myself. And he climbs back into the car.
He just turns to look at Sapphire. We need to find your last one. She needs to know.
Agnes.
I don't think it's that simple.
Magnus, you're a misfit now. And I hate to put more on your shoulders, but I have a favor to ask. After we find Isla, after we tell her, I have one more fight in me. I need to go home. Not to Xanadu. I need to go to my home in Sunset City. And I need to face the other me. The one I left behind. I need to defeat her so I can go home. And once I've done that, then I'm done.
Sapphire just puts his hand on her shoulder, nods. Yeah, I understand.
Do you wish aid upon your quest?
Please.
You will have it.
You will indeed.
Let's go find the legend. Deliver some bad news. Where to?
With any luck, she'll be in the House of Mystery. If she's not there, well, there's probably going to be some problems.
Nothing is simple.
Especially not with Isla.
Well, last I remember, it was that way. Just keep going in that direction.
And so you head that way. And you arrive at the House of Mystery. It looks a little different from the last time you were here. It looks like it's in winter, snowed, and dripping with icicles.
That's not good.
It's summer, right?
That's really not good.
Has this ever happened before?
No. But
Oh no, the winter
this,
court.
yeah. Yeah, that's my thought too.
Okay.
Sapphire
this-
just starts running full tilt into the door.
Mm-hmm. And we will leave that part of the Misfits for another time.
Fuck.
Because Well, that's going to require a different sort of resolution.
Yeah.
Ah.
But in the meantime, luckily, we do have a little bit more we can do with our time.
Hmm.
Marvin. Marvin, you wake up in a bright white void.
Hello?
And it echoes and echoes and echoes.
Uh, anyone here?
Ear, ear, ear. That's when you hear it. The thrum of a car engine.
Squint my eyes, look towards it.
Car's familiar.
Oh,
Stops. Door opens. Familiar face pokes out. Hey, bud, hop on in.
he looks at the car. And he looks at Arthur. Oh man, I died, didn't I?
Seems that way.
Huh. I'm gonna be honest with you, buddy. I don't know if the others are gonna take this well.
Oh, they won't.
Is there any way I can say goodbye to them?
Looks at the meter. Yes, I can take my break right now. You won't hold it against me.
Yeah. All right, it's just like 3 minutes.
Hmm. It's break. You get 15.
And Marvin closes his eyes, and there's a bright flash of white light. And he sees himself like high above Sunset City, like just standing in the sky above over everything, just looking down at it all. He sees the pillar of fire in the sky. Like that's the first thing he sees when he arrives there, and he's like, oh, okay. All right, I know what I gotta do. And it's once again like a series of pages, like silent pages. And after like the Mythfits leave No Name, like the panel is like May looking sad, but then like you see another panel right next to it. You see Marvin there with her, and he like gives her a hug, and then he disappears. And May has this look of like feeling of like someone was there saying goodbye to her. And then we cut over to where the Beatles are at. And you see them like all conversing. They're like all playing a game of Mario Kart that Marvin got them hooked on. And he like stops in the room to watch them, and he heads out. And then it cuts over to right outside the House of Mystery, with the Mythfits standing outside of it looking at it as it's covered in all this ice and snow. Marvin like touches down, looks at the house, and he's like, oh man, they got their work cut out for them. And he watches Sapphire just rushing at the house. And he's like, Yeah, that seems about right. And then he looks at Magnus, who's just standing there for a second, just standing there looking confused and overwhelmed. And he pats Magnus on the shoulder. I didn't get to know you long, but you're in good hands. Listen to these guys and they'll guide you through everything. And then he walks over to Elodie. He sighs. He takes both of his hands, rests them on her cheeks, and gives her a kiss. And when that kiss happens, Elodie feels it. She feels that kiss of goodbye from Marvin. And as he pulls away from the kiss, he whispers something in her ear. Do it on your own terms. Don't let anyone tell you how to do this. You do it on your own terms. And he looks at the house one more time. Say goodbye to Isla for me, please. Tell her I'm sorry. Tell her I couldn't be there for her. But please, just save her. Save Isla, guys. Don't let us lose her. He sighs and he looks up at the sky. He sighs again and he holds out his hand like he's hailing for a cab.
Cat pulls around right by your side.
All right.
Where to?
Well, whoever the fare wanted me to go. And he hops into the front seat, like puts his feet up on the dashboard.
I got a message from the boss. He just, in this arcane-like script, passenger's choice.
Huh.
Slight editorial note here. There actually is a direction.
Oh,
It's a specific place.
okay.
A mortal place, as a matter of fact. Kind of odd.
I got a note from the boss. This is where we're going.
Oh, all right. And he like gets comfortable in the seat.
Doesn't take long. What do you want to listen to?
I don't know. He like presses a button on the dashboard, like scrolls through the radio, and it stops on stops with the song "Plastic Love," and he sighs and relaxes back in the seat. He's like, "All right, I'm ready."
Let's go.
And Grin heads on. Drives over the mountains, through the plains, across the continents, until we arrive at a nice, small, hole-in-the-wall bar in Johannesburg, South Africa.
Here's your stop.
All right. Guess I'll see you later.
One last time. Pulls
Gives him a-
off.
And he heads into the bar.
Bar is busy. It's night. Nobody seems to notice you. Nobody seems to bump into you. And that's when you hear that noise. It's like the sound of a lot of dogs barking.
Looks towards the sound.
And you see in here. There's a bunch of dogs, like tooling around.
Uh, hey. He like leans down and he picks up, like he pets one of the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you, where why are there so many dogs here?
They just happen to follow me wherever I go.
Who are you?
And you turn, and you see seated at one of the tables, Marvin. It's like looking in a mirror about 30 years on. Sorry to say it, boyo, but uh, I wish I could have been there sooner. But better late than never.
Dad?
Come here, Marvin.
And he just runs up to him and tackle hugs him.
And he wraps his arms around you. And it is the warmest, biggest hug you have gotten from somebody who is not May. Sorry I couldn't be there for you, son. But I'm here now.
You're kind of late.
I travel a lot.
Like you're really late.
Yeah, I know.
You went out to get milk and you never came back kind of late.
Your mom's not still mad at me, is she?
I mean, she doesn't show it, but I think it's more of like she's really disappointed kind of thing. I wouldn't show up to her if that's what you're planning on doing.
No, I definitely am not. That's not really how I operate.
So why are you wait, well, okay, I know why you're here. I mean, you're a god or something, but why am I here? I thought I died. I mean,
Yes, you died, but you still got a little spark in you. A little bit that I gave you. That's got to come back to me. Well, it does come back to me, but I don't want to take it all back because, well, you deserve to be you still, but you got to stay.
oh, so what's going to happen to me?
Well, the way I'm working it out, and if anybody tries to not make it this way, then, I'll stomp a hole in them and have the dogs have at them. The ways I see it, you and me, we can travel together. All over. Maybe even one day if we get you back to strength enough, you can form an avatar or something. I'm kind of new to this whole thing. I'm used to more kind of just manifesting and doing my thing and going.
Sounds like you're also just kind of new to the whole father thing, to be honest.
That too. It's I sucked at this. Okay.
It shows. But yeah, I mean, you want to get to know me, and I mean, the last thing I remember of you is like when I was 5 and you left.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of stuff I want to catch up with you.
got nothing but time now.
I guess so. All right. Let's see where the roads take us.
Here and there and all over there. And he sets up a glass. What do you drink?
Have me a Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, I think I can do that. He reaches under the table and comes up with a bottle and
Well, here's to a new adventure. And he holds up the bottle, clinks it with his dad's, and he knocks it back.
and that is where we end tonight's issue of Sunset City. We're going to go back around the table, talk to our friends, see how they're doing and where we can find them. First of all, Pope, coming into his own as Magnus.
Um, that was brutal.
Yeah.
Absolutely brutal. Hey everybody, Pope here. Pope World on Twitter, Pope World on Twitch. I cry in all your streams. First the business, then the fun stuff. If you want to see more of my silly face, well, gonna have to wait for a bit. A lot of things are on hiatus, a lot of things are in the works. So right now, if you want to see my silly face, you just have to tune in here. Same Mythfits time, same Mythfits channel. Now, this, again, all the feels, but I am curious to see what next issue has in store. With that being said, this is an off-issue episode, if memory serves.
Yeah, it looks about right.
So, on that note, I'd like to introduce a little something called What Happens When a almost what if series for our little comic book universe. And the first issue is a Mythfits issue. What happens when all the Mythfits have different origins? So it's all the same faces, all the same rough names, but the individuals have each other's powers. And they got a collaboration involved in getting all the different artists for the individual issues to come in and illustrate these characters. So it's definitely a collector. So you definitely want to pick up number one, what happens when the Mythfits all have different origins.
It is quite an issue, I tell you what. Especially when, Sapphire Sirius ends up being a product of the Bureau of Observation rather than a Lithian. Or
Also,
yeah.
Mythos being part of the Empire is a bit of a head scratcher.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, I was about to say that. Mythos would be a herald of the Diamond Regalia. Just like a straight up herald. Yeah. Oof.
Yeah, like
Mm-hmm. Party Crasher as a knight. Kind of fits actually in its own funny way.
Does. Kind of does.
Kind of
Kind of
does.
does.
Which also means that Isla would get her powers from that Fae Pact.
And Marvin,
weird
keeper of the
choice.
House of Mysteries.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
Marvin. He's the
Ooh.
keeper of the House of Mystery.
And gets the car early.
Oh no, it's not even a car; it's a motorcycle.
Oh,
Turbine,
nice.
Turbine has
Yeah.
a name.
With quad sidecars.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Corey, how are you doing, friend? Where can we find you?
Oh, I'm doing all right. This was probably the most heart-wrenching episode so far. But yeah, I'm Corey Sparks, also known as Hyperlight Sparks. You can find me on Twitter at Hyperlight Sparks with an X. And really, once again, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. This stuff is better than the stuff you find on Netflix these days. Because I swear to God, like, you guys, some of the best storytellers I've ever met. Like, dang. And yes, the tier marks on Sapphire's face, they're a permanent part of his design now. They're staying. They're staying.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, as for the off issue, well, once again, I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah, that's fine. We are what we are. Celeste, how are you doing, friend? Where can we find you?
You see this shit? You see these fucking tears?
I mean, honestly, I cause a lot of those tears, so it's on me this time around.
Yeah, it was 90% you.
Yeah, 90% me.
Okay. Hi, I'm Celeste PLS with way too many underscores on Twitter. I'm Celeste Shepherd here on Twitch. I don't do a whole lot of streaming of my own. I show up on other people's channels sometimes. I'm here every other Sunday. I just had a series end over on Weave the Tail. You can check out the VODs on the Weave the Tail YouTube. Content warning for mentions of suicide. Yeah, Party Crashers. She's not Party Crasher. Yeah, she hasn't been for a while. You can tell I'm a little fucked up. Elodie is she's starting to break away and form her own path. Part of that is making the path home. That doesn't necessarily mean she's going to quit heroing, but she's going to figure out. Well, we'll see what happens. I don't have an off issue, man. Y'all took it all the way out of me today.
It's fair.
I left it all on the table. I'm done.
That's how it is some nights. You know, I came into this and I didn't know what was gonna happen, so we got there. And if you're all done, then you're all done. Last, but absolutely not the least, Wally, how are you doing, friend, and where can we find you?
Y'all, how y'all doing? I'm oh boy. So full disclosure, I went into this 100% prepared for this. Like I went into this that this was going to be Marvin's last issue. That's the mindset I went into this. That was 100%. I had a good ending and I had a bad ending already. We had a good ending and bad ending worked out. So pretty much, I was ready for like whatever. It was just more so everyone else's reactions to it. I was not ready for. I was not ready for such emotion, and I want to say thank you to all of you for making me retiring this character memorable, because this was a character that I became friends with all of you with. Like you were all strangers to me, and this character has a very strong bond, and that like I became friends with all of you because of this character. So thank you so much for making his ride so memorable. And I was not prepared that he was going to meet his dad at the end, so I was on the verge of tears when that happened. But yeah, I am happy that Marvin has his ride off into the sunset moment, and it was very well done. The off issue though, the off issue is a new issue of Sunset City Presents, which is the annual Sunset every summer. Sunset, like the Sunset City Publishing puts out a comic that introduces new stories into the Sunset City universe. The first story is a story of Marvin and his dad going on a road trip where they end up fighting a Wendigo. Um, Another story is actually a flashback to 1999, back in the 90s, back when Sunset City was still fresh and new. It was a city, but it wasn't the shining beacon of superherodom that it was known as now. But during that time, that what many people don't know of is that there was certain rocks fell from the heavens during those times. Certain remains of a certain war that happened deep, deep in another pocket of space. As a rock that predates another rock coming to this earth. Same kind of rock, made from the same cut as a certain sapphire Sirius came crashing to Earth. It was inert, it had no life in it, but it was just brimming with alien technology. And one person found that rock, and they decided to research it. They learned what they can make from it. They learned what kind of technology they can make from it. And they knew that people out there would probably want to use this technology for evil. But they were going to do their best to make sure this technology gets put to work somehow, in some way, in a positive way. And the third story in Sunset City Presents is a story we see Loki looking at him through a mirror, observing everything that happened in this issue. He waves his hand and images rewind back what happened in Valhalla when the Mythfits came there and just wrecked house, and back it seems like where all of this started for him. And then he reviews that moment when he suddenly appeared on the battlefield. And then he stops the image, he rewinds it, he edited out certain sounds, certain background noise, the dim of battle, the sound of swords clashing. And there is a sound, a simple sound of chains breaking and a long howl of a wolf braying at the moon. But yeah, that's that issue of Sunset City Presents.
Fan-flippin-tastic. Well, folks, I guess it's down to me. Hi, I'm Matt, the Killer GM. You can follow me on Twitter at the Killer GM. I write about gaming, nerdery, various other things as they come. Give these people a follow. Watch them. Watch their shows. Thank you for watching us on the VOD, on YouTube, live here on the shows. We don't have a story unless we've got you. And like I said, I started tonight and I told them, whatever happens, these are some of the best players I've got. I love them for it. And they showed why that is the case tonight as they laid it all out. Ollie came in knowing Marvin wasn't getting out one way or the other. He played it to the hilt. I knew it was waiting at the end if it didn't quite go the way he was looking for it. But it was good to see. It was good to see people pulling out all the stops to try and finish this thing off. We got to see the send-off of a very loved character, and I'm gonna miss Marvin. And I hope you all do too. I don't have a stinger tonight because this issue stands on its own. It was beautiful and wonderful, and I'm glad we got to share it all with you. Only other thing I'll plug, I got another ending this Friday. My series over on Weave the Tale, Relics, the Tower of Babel, Game of Angels. They've shown up. They've found the tower. It's a tech company, of course. I tried to avoid the ham-fisted metaphors, but god damn it, they just found me where I was sleeping and beat me into it. So, we're gonna see Rygon, Asmodeus, Aaron, and the Auditor ascend the tower, try and disassemble it, try and free the world from the machinations of the Metatron. And with that nice little teaser for that, folks, with the Killer GM, you can always bet your life on it. Good night, my friends. Good night.